Hello to everyone joining us and welcome to the Sustainability and Community Conference Series presented by College of the Canyons and the International Center for Sustainability. My name is Valenzuela-Holguin and I am an aerospace engineering major here at College of the Canyons, as well as the creator and lead coordinator for this conference series. The mission for these series of conferences is to establish resources for students, educators, community members, and those interested, a place where they may have access to resources of information, as well as to be a place to engage with local providers on numerous sustainable development projects and programs taking place here in the Santa Clarita Valley. As the city of Santa Clarita strives to create a pathway towards a healthy, livable, and sustainable community, it is more important than ever to become more aware of the different sustainable measures taking place, as well as how we as community members can sustain as a larger community and learn more about how we can become more involved with making more sustainable choices and living a more sustainable lifestyle. Today, we are being joined by Ashley Courts, who is the Public Sector Manager for Waste Management in Santa Clarita, where she works with the city to ensure compliance with statewide recycling regulations. With her bachelor's degree in communications, she enjoys advocating for sustainability and promoting proper recycling to residents, as well as multifamily properties in the community. In her 4 years with Waste Management, she has provided solutions and strategies to establish and enhance the recycling efforts throughout the city of Santa Clarita. Please welcome Ashley Courts from Waste Management.
Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and start with a video.
We are always working for a sustainable tomorrow. That's our promise. A promise doesn't change when things get tough. These are unprecedented times, and that promise of who we are and what we stand for can be seen on the faces of our 45,000 teammates. We could not be prouder of them as they continue to be there for our customers, for our communities, and for each other, today and tomorrow.
Well, good morning. Thank you so much to Ryan and College of the Canyons for having me today for the Sustainability Conference. As he had mentioned, my name is Ashley Cortez. I work for WM as a public sector recycling manager. I've been with them 4 years and it's been an incredible journey. I still to this day learn something new every single day. So I'm definitely honored to be here and share with you the great things we're doing to increase and promote diversion and sustainability within our communities, especially in the city of Santa Clarita. So today we're going to just talk about who is WM, the contributions to diversion and sustainability within the community and all over the United States. I'm going to talk about our amazing new facility that just opened a year or so ago, Sun Valley Recycling Park, which is right down the hill from Santa Clarita. We're going to talk about some California state legislator that has passed and is going forward right now and will affect each and every one of us in California. I'm going to talk a little bit about smart truck technology. I'm really going to dive into some recycling reminders because we could always use the extra education on how to properly recycle. And then we'll take it from there. So who is WM? You might have used to remember us as Waste Management. I still catch myself saying it. A lot of my stuff still says Waste Management, but we did just recently rebrand as a company. We are now WM. So just like UPS and stuff like that, we're simplifying our image and our brand. And I think it's a really good next step for us because we're not just a waste management company anymore. You know, we do propane and we do portalates and shred services and different things. And so we encompass so much more. And so I feel like that was the company's objective, was to kind of show that we're modernizing and we're changing, and we wanted to reflect that. And so you'll now see us, all our branding as WM. So we're excited about that. WM became a public company in 1972, and by 1982, we had become the world's largest waste disposal company with more than $1 billion in sales at that time. So we've been in the industry for many, 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 many years, and through that time, we've just continued to evolve and revolutionize our company, and I'm so excited to share that with you guys today. We're North America's largest residential recycler, which I'll get into later. Last year, we recycled or reused over 15 million tons of material, which is incredible. We operate over 145 recycling facilities, which include material recovery facilities for recycling. So where all our recycling gets sorted, picked through and baled and then shipped off, that we operate those facilities. We operate a lot of composting, mulch, organic facilities. And so there's a lot of exciting things going on within our company. And we were really honored to receive the 2021 Organics Recycler of the Year by the National Waste and Recycling Association. So that was a very exciting win for us. We manage more than 3.5 million tons of material annually across our 42 organics recycling facilities. So it's pretty amazing. We've been in Santa Clarita for over 2 decades. We're so proud to be in this community. This is a great community to live and work, and we're so happy that we get to service the city of Santa Clarita and promote sustainability and help reach the city's diversion goals. I think they were up 4% from the previous year for diversion. And so that's really good that we keep continuing to chip away and increase diversion in the city. We have a local team of 62 employees. I don't know if anybody has been off to our location on Springbrook, but we are still there. We have our 62 employees there. We serve over 50,000 Santa Clarita residential and multifamily customers. So Santa Clarita is unique in the fact that they have 2 waste haulers. So we service the residents and multifamily communities. And then there is a commercial. The commercial business is to Birchtech. So there's 2 waste haulers in the city. And we provide over $7 million individual services per year, which is crazy. So we're happy to be here. WM's contributions to diversion and sustainability. We have so much going on right now. Are just a few of the things I could go on and on, but some of the cool things that I wanted to share with you guys were we just partnered with a new cart container provider. So as we do swap outs and fix your broken containers, you will get a new cart that contains up to 40% post-consumer recycled content. So that's amazing. Basically, what we put into our recycling container is making the container that we're utilizing. So it's pretty cool. Another really neat aspect was we also partnered with Reprieve, and you can look them up, and I'm going to share a link after this presentation for you guys to see how this process works, but it's something I was really excited to share. Basically, the plastic bottles that you recycle, we partnered up with Reprieve. We ship plastic bottles to them, and they in turn shred down those plastic bottles into fine pieces, and then they melt it, and with their technology, they make it into like a woven fiber, like a thread, and then that in turn is what makes up the shirts that our drivers are wearing. So our drivers are wearing the plastic bottles that they're collecting and recycling, which is so amazing. And I will be sharing that link on how that process works. And then increased plastic capture by 25% since 2019. So we're continuing to find markets for plastics and making sure we're capturing all the plastic material and getting it its second life. Just this year, we're going to invest over $200 million in recycling infrastructure and technology. So I'll get into a materials recovery facility, but basically we're investing specialized technology so that when your recycling is going on conveyor belts, there's this technology that can kind of laser beam and target certain materials and can read it by weight, color, stuff like that. And then it knows to sort it and that it's, either a paper product or a plastic product. So we continue to invest in that type of technology. I am proud to say that all our trucks run on compressed natural gas, which is a type of renewable natural gas. So there's no diesel used within the city of Santa Clarita. It's a very clean and green type of fuel, and all our trucks are run and powered by that CNG. And then, locally, I go around and promote sustainability and recycling to the residents through community outreach, digitalization in the newsletters, just trying to really get people to realize what they're putting in their container and how to properly recycle. And then also working with multifamily complexes on increasing recycling so that we can really increase the diversion and really capture all that cardboard and paper and plastics that are going, they're still putting in the trash, or they're not, expanding their recycling program. So really working with the multifamily to clean up the waste stream and increase recycling. And then a really cool aspect that we've moved towards in the last few years is using more domestic mills for recycling. So instead of shipping our recycling products, across seas, we're trying to find more domestic mills that will take that material and, turn it into new products. And we're proud to show the progress we've made. It's actually quite amazing. In 2017, China took 27% of the recycling. We would ship it over there. And now in 2020, we were at 2%. Now we're even less than that. So we're not shipping as much over there. You can see the domestic mills. We were at around 63% in 2017. Now we're up to 81%. So we're continuing to find, markets in the United States, which is great. And we don't have to ship as much. So this is a really cool map to kind of see where our recycling is going. Some is going to Southeast Asia, but there's some in India, but you can see the bulk of it is now staying in the United States, which is really cool. The Sun Valley Recycling Park. So this is a brand new facility, state of the art. I just went and took a tour of it yesterday, and I highly encourage anybody to take a tour of that facility. It's so close to home, and it's, where our recycling is going, and you can firsthand see what process your recycling goes through to get to that final bale and get shipped, to be made into, carpets and roofs and clothes. And so it's a very new facility. I think it's been open since 2020. It's a few years old. And it's a material recovery facility. So our recycling goes there. And basically, when the truck driver picks up your recycling, he takes that over to this facility, and all the recycling gets dumped there. And then there's these tractors that kind of pick it and try to take out the big contaminants they see before they put it on the conveyor belt. So this whole process is just trying to get as much of the trash and unrecyclables out as possible so that at the end product, we get the really clean, good material. And so it kind of goes through this, I like to call it the Willy Wonka factory of recycling. And it goes through all these different stages until you see the final product, which is the baled recycling. But people are hand sorting. There is some hand sorting going on to pick out like the big contaminants like bowling balls and, oh my gosh, rakes and brooms and metals and bumpers and anything you can think of, hoses, plastic bags, which really jam up our machines, which I'll get into later. But this is our new material recovery facility, and it's quite amazing. And I would love to be able to get with you guys to take you on a tour there. This facility also houses our Energia Orex organic processing. So this is a really cool feature that we have at the recycling park, and it's an organics extrusion process. So We partnered with Energia, and what it is we take all the food waste, and it'll be from areas all over California. And basically we can take up to 300 tons per day of organic waste. And what it does is it goes through a sorting process. So we take out any contaminants we see in the food waste, bags, big items that, can't be broken down, and it sorts it. And then it takes it into almost like a garlic press, which is this machine you see here. And it kind of presses it all, takes out all, tries to get the liquid out, and really gets it to like almost like a batter consistency. And then that gets transferred and waits until the truck comes. And then Energia brings their truck over, and it goes to their Rialto facility, which is a bioenergy facility where it undergoes anaerobic digestion and it's converted into renewable electricity, renewable natural gas, and fertilizer. And so it's actually quite amazing. They said the material that they are getting there right now is being turned into these new products. So it's already working back into our economy. So it's very cool. This system reduces greenhouse gas emissions up to 220,000 metric tons. I think I read a stat that said that's like taking 47,000 cars off the road. So it's amazing. And this also helps cities plan for SB 1383, which is the new organics law that is in place, because now all these cities have to, comply with this new organics law, and they have nowhere to take it. And so this facility comes at a great time when people are going to be looking for places to take this material and make sure it gets properly disposed. This is to break a photo picture visual of how the process works. So you see the material goes then through the shredder, then it goes through the disc screen, where it, like I say, layers and layers of trying to get down to the nitty gritty of the good material. And then it goes through the press, and then it goes to the Rialto, our partner's facility, where it gets turned into new products. So what is SB 1383? I don't know if you guys have heard of it yet, but it's a huge deal right now throughout the state of California. It was a state law that was passed for organic recycling. And the goal was they wanted to get the food waste, all the produce, any food products, like leftover food, coffee grinds, all that. They want to get that out of the trash and into a different container where it goes and gets composted, or as you saw, it can go into renewable electricity, gas, everything. So they want to get that out of the trash. And so they set their goals, and everyone will be required to do this at all residents. This affects each and every one of us. So they want us to get our food waste out of the trash and into a different container. We're still in the process of working on what that looks like, but a lot of it's pointing to mixing it with the green waste, because green waste is considered organic as well. So mixing your food waste in your yard waste cart, that's the goal. And basically all that material would get mixed, and then we would take that and make it composted, or depending on the facility we use. There's so many things you can do with it. So the goal was to reduce the organics materials going to the landfill, decrease greenhouse gas emissions, and then ultimately slow climate change. So that was the goal of this law. So what does this mean for us? A lot of people are like, am I going to have a fourth container? No, we're hoping that's not the route we have to go. Like I said, our hope is to combine that in the yard waste cart. So you would sort it in your home, and you could either put it in its own little container or bag, but when it gets to the cart, you want to make sure you tear open that bag and put the contents in directly to the cart. This has not gone into effect with the food waste. So we don't want anybody putting the food waste in the yard waste cart as of now, but this is just something to think about and know that it is coming in the future. But as you can see from the photos, food waste, food soil paper is considered organics, yard waste, bones, meat, bread, rice, all that is considered organic material. And then the recycling would continue to be bottles, cans, paper, cardboard, glass. And then what does that basically leave us with? All the residual stuff that has no recycling capability. So plastic wrappers, there's diapers on there, like food wrappers, stuff like that, hoses, which we tend to see a lot in the recycling. So that's like the residual. What also comes with this law is a cart color standardization. So not only do we have to sort, but now we're going to have to change our mindset, and the cart colors are going to change. And so basically what we're proposing is to keep the body of the container a dark gray, and then just change the lids. And then so you'd want to make sure you're checking the lid to see what can go into that container. So basically green waste. So the organics, the green waste and the food waste would be green. The recycling would be blue, and then the trash would be black or dark gray. So that's where we're going to be going. They give us some time to make that transition. Thankfully, the state does, but we are going to have to change our mindset and know that, blue's no longer trash, so green isn't recycled. So we have to change our mentality, and it's going to be a lot of education. Like I said, we'll be educating people, and on the lids, it'll be stamped on what exactly can go in there. Also, part of the law is you have to monitor contamination. So they want cities to check people's carts somehow, whether that's flipping lids and looking in the cart, or I'll talk about our smart truck technology, but basically wanting us to educate. This is like a layer of education to let people know, hey, we found, trash in your green waste cart. Just a reminder, only this can go in there. And so we have to monitor, the cities have to monitor that and educate. And so to help cities with that, WM created a proprietary technology called Smart Truck Technology, which is basically cameras on the truck. So there's a camera on the truck that faces where the container is. So you can see, okay, look, I was at the house, I serviced the container, but then it goes another step and there's a hopper cam. So we're able to see what was in that cart. So we can see, hey, you know what, this person's putting a lot of plastic bags in their recycling or their yard waste cart, organics cart. And so we want to make sure we target outreach for this person because they're not doing it correctly. And so we would use this technology to educate customers. And so it captures the footage. Sometimes it's videos, it's photos, and then we're able to, share that with customers and show them where they're struggling in their recycling efforts. There is eventually going to be fines for that, but that comes later down the line. I think they're giving until 2024. So we have a few years to work on educating all the residents on how to properly utilize the carts. But this is a really cool technology that we were able to implement. So now we're going to do another video as we get into recycling.
This pair of sneakers started out looking like this. So did this shirt, these jeans, and this backpack, and even this purse. All of this is made from recycled materials. WM and Reprieve have made it possible to transform over 20 billion bottles into amazing things we use every day. But how? How does this turn into this? Let's find out. Each year, 35 billion plastic bottles are thrown away. That's about 5 bottles for every human on Earth, and each of those bottles would take 1,000 years to degrade. This is how WM and Reprieve work together for a more sustainable tomorrow. Your recycling is picked up by WM, and that material is delivered to a WM facility where everything gets sorted. Plastic is separated from cardboard, along with aluminum and other recyclable materials. Each type of material is packed into bales and shipped to various facilities to be turned into something new. Let's talk plastic bottles, for example. Millions of them are delivered to North Carolina, where Unify, the makers of Reprieve, operates one of the most advanced recycling facilities in the country. This is where bottles become yarn. Once the bottles arrive at the facility, they are sorted and cleaned. They get chopped up, melted, and blended to become Reprieve Recycled Flake. These flakes are loaded into massive silos where they begin a state-of-the-art process, which transforms them into polyester fibers. But not just any kind of polyester. This is super high quality, high performing fiber that can help protect against moisture, control temperature and odor, and deliver amazing cushioning. Then what? The bottles that WM provides are turned into millions of miles worth of yarn that's used by brands you know and love to create some amazing products. WM and Reprieve can make what seems impossible a reality.
Waste management has been very successful in their ability to collect different types of waste, and that's where we step in. We become that solution in terms of giving that bottle that second life.
We see ourselves as a company that helps brands meet their sustainable goals. We help brands achieve something that they thought was impossible.
Best of all, this innovative collaboration gives plastic a second life. So far, WM and Reprieve have taken 20 billion of these and given them a new life. And you can help by making sure your recyclables are empty and rinsed before putting them in your bin. And by buying products made from recycled material. When you think about it, this process starts and ends with you. And all of us can work together for a sustainable tomorrow.
So recycling reminders, we need your help. We always need your help to recycle right. It makes such a huge difference in the amount of material, the products we're able to redo and remake. And so I always can't reiterate enough how important it is to, be cognizant of what you're putting in that recycling container and stop wish cycling. Like we use that term to describe, we want it to be recyclable. We think it's recyclable, but it's not. And so I always just try to tell people, stick to the basics. Bottles, cans, paper, cardboard, glass, try to keep the food and liquid out, because what that does is ruin the good material. So try to just quickly rinse out your pasta jars or, milk jugs. We just want it as clean as possible. If you're going to do the pizza box, do the non-greasy, non-cheesy part, and you can recycle that. And the big one is, please do not bag your recycling. Do not put plastic bags in there. Just empty your recycling contents directly into your container. It's very critical. I'll show you what it does on the next slide. But, be a champion, at your home, at your school, at your work. Be that green champion and just really help promote proper recycling, because it makes all the difference. And try to prevent this, because this is what happens when we get, hoses and plastic bags and plastic wrap. It goes through our sorting facility and jams it up. And then our workers have to go and cut it out manually. And so that is one thing I want you guys to take away, is just please stick to the basics and keep out the plastic bags. And as I said, my name is Ashley. I'm your resource. I'm your local rep here in Santa Clarita. Proud to be here, proud to serve you guys, and here to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
Hi, Ashley. Thank you so much for your presentation. Really appreciate all the different facts and statistics and information that you provided us as a community today. I guess one of the questions we had is, how can waste management, how can we as Santa Clarita Valley community members help to achieve the SB 1383 goals?
Yeah, so look into composting. If you're into home composting, there's a lot of great resources out there. I think the greensantaclarita.com page can provide some outlets, but I know there's, the composting. If you want to compost at your home, that's a great first step to look into. But if you don't, have the time or the resources, just set yourself up for success within your house. Have a good program in place to put the organics where if you didn't finish all your food, you can scrape it into a container designated for food waste, and then just empty those contents direct. You can bag the one you have in your house, but then, take that out and just empty it, don't put the bag in there, just put the contents directly into that cart, and we will make sure it is recycled, composted, whatever it needs to be, we will make sure that gets done. And so that's what you can do to help, is just, reduce your waste. Don't overbuy on your food. We always say, if you use the first R's, reduce, reuse. Those are the first ones we like to utilize. So, don't overbuy on your food. Don't overmake, try to portion control, do everything you got to do within what you can do in your own home and environment. And then, look at composting as well.
That's great. Are there any particular or branded bags that consumers can use to bag plastic bottles?
So a lot of people, and I want to put it out there that plastic bags have a recycling component, just not through your curbside. So I know a lot of grocery stores, and like I said, the greensantaclarita.com page lists some local retail shops that will take your bags back. But when you go shopping and stuff, I usually just reuse mine, because, I take my plastic bags and reuse them, or use the totes and all that. And people bag their recycling in that, and that's fine. But just make sure you're not putting that bag in the container. Just open it up, empty it, and then, reuse it for something else. But if you're a really, advocate for recycling, and you want to recycle those plastic bags, there are retail locations that will take those plastic bags and recycle it for you. We just don't have that capability through our curbside program, because as you can see, it goes through all those channels of conveyor belts and different processing to pick out the other things. And so there's definitely ways to recycle those plastic bags.
That's cool. It's great that there's all these resources that are available to different customers and local members to have access to learning how to recycle and be more efficient.
Yes.
Are there any interesting or other details on the new WM Sun Valley Recycling Park?
Yeah. So, like I said, it's a state of the art. It's a beautiful facility. It takes a lot of cities recycling, a lot of Los Angeles, some Santa Clarita. And so it's a great facility. Once the organics facility is even more amazing. It can take up to 300, I think, tons or something of organics a day. And I think they're only using about 60 tons right now. So that's going to ramp up as we get into, SB 1383, because more people are going to start doing the program. Right now, we're in the beginning stages with the cities and trying to figure out what we're going to do and all that. People are still figuring out their programs, but that's definitely going to ramp up. And I mean, if they're already using it for, renewable natural gas and renewable energy or electricity, I can just imagine when they get to full capacity, how much more that's going to go and help our environment and create that circular economy. So it's going to be really neat to see, but it's a great facility. I recommend everybody, try and take a tour, and I'd be more than happy to help, set that up. But it's a really good way to see where your recycling is going and what happens to it. So I definitely encourage that.
Cool. A question we have on Facebook is, what about bagging recycling in a trash bag? Should we just empty the contents directly, or is a trash bag okay?
So empty it directly. Don't put the bag in there. So we don't want any plastic bags, no trash bags, anything going into the recycling container. So if you have it bagged, just kind of rip it open and then dump the contents out. Or, in your house, just designate another container, like a little trash container, and just put your bottles and cans and, paper and, your junk mail, all that can go in there. And then you would empty that trash container into the big container. And so that's always an easy way to do it too. And I forgot to note, a big one we see too is shredded paper. So, at home, I used to do this all the time. I shred my stuff. And then I thought, okay, it's paper. I'm going to put it in the recycling. But as you can see, when it gets to the facility, the truck's just dumping all the material there. So those fine little pieces of paper aren't gonna make anything, because it has to be like a full, page of normal size paper for it to be baled. We can't bale the little tiny scraps of paper. So that wouldn't, just to let you guys know, shredded paper doesn't, get recycled the way a normal paper would. So just keep that in mind. I know there's shred recyclers out there. If you're willing to go that far and, do that with have a shred person come and take the material for you, that can be
That's great. Another question we have on Facebook is, do you have any education programs for youth, such as Girl Scouts, Cub Scouts, or Boy Scouts?
Yes, we love doing those. We do those throughout the community. We did a Girl Scout troop. We do schools, presentations for the local schools. And we also can provide a resource for like curriculum examples, activities for kids, recycling activities that you can do at the schools. We have a whole curriculum for different grade levels that teachers can incorporate into their curriculums and teach kids about recycling. We have a great resource. I'll make sure to send that to you so you can post it in the link. But if you go on that Recycle Right website, it has everything you need. Like for multifamily properties, it has newsletters, things to include in like door hangers, all kinds of cool resources. So yes, and we do fun recycling presentations for the groups as well. So they can reach out to me and we can work on setting something up.
That's cool. That's so cool that WM offers so many different resources. Are there any sustainability-based projects coming up in the future through WM?
I think our big one is just going to be the organics for the city of Santa Clarita, which we're working on. We're going to figure out, where we're going to take that material. If it's, if it's going to be the Sun Valley Recycling Park, if it's going to be a composting facility. There's so many different avenues. And so we're still exploring all that. So that'll be this big sustainability goal in the coming years. And then just continuing to improve upon our infrastructure that's already in place and continue to, increase our technology. That's what WM is really known for, is their advancements in technology and kind of modernizing the waste industry. And so we'll continue to invest in those technologies so that, we're kind of, like our brand says, we're thinking of tomorrow. We're thinking of we're thinking into the future, and we'll continue to do that.
Another question we have is, are there any events coming up that community members can get involved in?
Yes. So the city of Santa Clarita will be holding their neighborhood cleanup on April 9th. I highly encourage everyone to participate. You can register. I would check their Green Santa Clarita web page, and also the city's website, but you can register and you can come as a group, and WM is providing the liners and the bags for the trash to go in and everything. And so you can go with a group and get your bags and go help clean up. There's 3 different neighborhoods that you can choose from. So it's a great opportunity to, clean up and give back to the community on April 9th.
Yeah, that's cool. It's always exciting and fun to be able to be more active and more a part of the community and working with local providers such as waste management. Another question we have is, would it be possible to make compost available for pickup by local gardeners to use in their gardens?
Yes, so the city will be getting a portion back of compost. And so once we get ramping up on how we're going to start the program, the city will be getting a big portion of compost back, and they can distribute it, how they feel. And so I'm sure that'll be an avenue that they can explore as far as giving back, putting it back into the community through those channels. So definitely keep your eyes out for that. Like I said, it's down the line a little bit. We still have a little ways to go to get there, but I'm sure there'll be some composting mulch and stuff for us to give back to the community. The city will.
Are there any local projects that WM is working with, or local programs?
Locally, we're just we're working with a lot of different groups. We'll be at the neighborhood cleanup again. We're going to be at the home and garden show promoting composting and sustainability. I'll hopefully be able to announce a cool partnership with a local Santa Clarita artist. I'm hoping in April as we gear up for Earth Day. And so we'll continue to work with organizations and giving back to the community. I've been working with Rotary on some things for students. And so we'll hopefully be able to announce those in the coming month. But we continue to work locally with groups. And like I said, we want to provide presentations to schools, and because I feel like that's a key thing in educating the students and making them aware, because a lot of times they're the ones that take out the trash, or they're the ones, that are sorting in the house, so we want to educate the kids in the schools so that they know what to expect. And so just continuing to work with all the community groups within the community to get the word out on recycling.
Yeah, definitely the youth is our future for our environment and how we can sustain here as a community. Are there any other information or resource you'd like to give for community members?
No, I did forget to say, like with the recycling, when I did the tour recently, they said Santa Clarita Valley is at about a 30% contamination rate. And, we always strive for 0. So that's the ultimate goal. And so at 30%, there's still a lot of work to be done. And so any way to spread the word on, sticking to the basics of recycling and taking out those contaminants is going to be key to the success of our city's diversion and our sustainability.
A question we have on Facebook is, are there any new efforts to increase recycling in multifamily housing units, such as apartments?
Yes, so I continue to work with property managers. It's always a difficult sell for them to add recycling because there's so much contamination, because a lot of at multifamily, they throw a lot of the trash into that other bin. And so it's always a struggle, but we have so many great resources in partnership with the city of Santa Clarita. We have door hangers and newsletters we can send out to every tenant, door hangers for every door. The city has recycling baskets that they can give to the maintenance to distribute to all the tenants, reminding them not to bag their recycling. And so I think it's just taking that initial step to add the recycling and getting them to increase, like take out a few trash and add more recycling. And then we can target the outreach for those people that use those, specific areas of the enclosure. And, let's try it. It doesn't hurt to try. And so I always encourage my multifamily complexes to try it. We have the outreach, we have the resources. We just got to keep the education going, because as you know, with multifamily, there's a lot of change in tenants and stuff like that. So just keeping up on the education is key.
Yeah. Is there any, are there any new advancements with the smart truck technology?
So we're gearing up for that as we get with SB 1383. As we said, there is a contamination monitoring component that is required by that law. And so we're still figuring out what that looks like, but we do have the capability on our trucks. Our trucks pretty much all have the smart truck capability. So they have the 2 cameras. So we can say, here's us showing that we were at your, house, and we, we're with your container, and then showing the footage of what was in there, so that, people can see, oh shoot, I did put a few bags, or, I did put the hose in the recycling. And so just as a really good outreach and education component to change behavior and help people, because I think people want to do the right thing. They just don't know. And so this technology really helps with giving people a visual of what they're doing and how to correct it.
Yeah, that's really cool how active waste management it is and all the different strategies and techniques they're using to try to create this more sustainable future.
Yes, that's the goal, always.
I wanted to say thank you so much, Ashley, for joining us today for the Sustainability and Community Conference Series, and for discussing the different approaches and unique strategies of sustainable development taking place and being provided by WM in our community.
Yes, thank you so much again for having me. We're so proud to be in the city of Santa Clarita and for all these decades, and we continue to strive to provide, state-of-the-art services, customer service, and we're just really happy to be here and promoting sustainability within our community. So thank you so much.
Thank you. On behalf of College of the Canyons and the International Center for Sustainability, we want to thank Ashley Cortez for being part of the Sustainability in Community Conference Series. And we want to also thank all of you for watching this conference. If you are interested in learning how you can recycle from home, WM offers numerous resources for those interested in learning about recycling, sustainable waste, and advanced disposal, and much more. Visit wm.com/recycleright to learn more. Thank you.
Great. Thank you.